Okay, we are continuing our shiurim in the Sefer Daas Tevunos. I hope the noise in the background is not. I'll try to speak loud. There's a little bit of background noise. As always, these shiurim should be li'ilui nishmas. There's a schus and li'ilui nishmas for Daniella Sheina, bas Yehoshua Falik, alei shalom. And as always, I'm here with my friend David Goodwin, who is not the one washing the floor in the background, which is the noises that you're hearing. Okay, so we left off in paragraph Lamed Daled, where the Seichel is explaining something, a very fundamental idea about this idea of Yichud Hashem, about the idea of the oneness of Hashem. And he explains as follows. He started by explaining what we saw, this idea that all the other midos of Hashem, any other aspect of Hashem, any other trait of Hashem, Hashem's chesed, Hashem's wisdom, His kindness, His judgment, any of these other things, it's impossible for us to fully grasp, impossible for us to fully understand, since Hashem Himself is infinite, Hashem's kindness is infinite. So if we say, I grasp Hashem's kindness because I look around and I see all the good that He does, it's wrong, because His kindness is way beyond that. Same thing with Hashem's judgment, it's impossible for us to do that, and since it's impossible, He explains, therefore there's an avera, there's a prohibition, we're not allowed to try to grasp these infinite elements of Hashem, because we're only going to end up coming up with wrong answers. Okay, but now he continues. However, this trait of Hashem, this element of Hashem, Hashem's achdus, that Hashem is one, adarabah, on the contrary, zem izgale umizbar lanu beiru gomor. This is the only thing about Hashem that you can know for sure. There's one aspect of Hashem that you can know and have 100% certainty and clarity and grasp of, and that is Hashem's midah of achdus, Hashem's midah of oneness. V'nimshach lanu mizeh. And therefore, it comes from this. Shelo dai shehu mizbar lanu. It's not enough that it's clear to us. Ela shechayavim anachnu lahashem elibeinu hayadiyah azos. But since we can know this, we are demanded, we're required to know this. Litkoa oto kabil to make it rooted in our hearts. B'yishuv gomer b'lishum pikpu klal. This aspect of Hashem we have to have 100% clarity on. V'hu mashim etzaveinu Moshe Rabbeinu alav Hashem lepiagvu. And this is mamish a pasuk in the Torah that we say every day in Aleinu. V'yadata hayom v'hashevosa elav avecha. You have to know this you have to know this today and bring it into your heart. Ki Hashem hu Elokim. Hashem is the God. B'shamayim mima'al v'al haaretz b'tachas ein od. In the heavens above and the earth below ein od. There is no other. What's Yichud Hashem? What's this midah of Yichud Hashem? There is no other force. Ein od milvado. There is nothing else. And the Torah is telling us this is something that we must know. Okay, so again, he's making a philosophical argument over here. He's saying when it comes to all other aspects of Hashem, all other traits, all other midos of Hashem, we cannot know them, and therefore it is we're forbidden from trying to understand them. Except for this, when it comes to the midah of Yichud, this element of Hashem, which is going to develop and explain more now, what this means and what it entails, don't we all know that there's only one God? But he's going to explain. This is one thing that we can know, and since we can know it, we have to know it. Upi Elyon meid ba'atzmo umodia, and Hashem Himself testifies about Himself and says, "Ki kol nilkat mikol misibosav hagdolos asher hu mizapech bolamo halohu gilu yichudu agamor hazeh." Hashem Himself tells us everything He does, all the revolutions in the world, all the big things that happen, are all only for this one thing. See now, ki ani hu, I am Him, I am He. Ve'ein elokim imadi. There is no other power other than I, other than me. This pasuk is written in Parshas Ha'azinu after the Ha'azinu is a parsha that prophetically talks about all the things that are going to happen, all the big events in the world that are going to happen, the whole future of Klal Yisrael, and after all that, Hashem says, there's only me. This is all included in Hazinu. As the psukim themselves say, and he finishes this all when he talks about all the future and all the past and the whole cosmic time of the world in Klal Yisrael. How does he finish it? Ru'u ata, I want you to see ani hu. It's all me. It's all Hashem. There is nothing else. And in the Navi Yeshaya it says this explicitly. L'ma'an tedu, what's the point of everything? What's the point? So that you should know, v'ta'aminu, and believe, v'savinu ki anihu, it's me, l'fanai lo notzar el v'achrai lo yiyah, there is no other creator before me, and after me there never will be. Anochi Hashem, it is I who is Hashem. V'ein mivladai Moshiach, there's nothing that can save other than me. Other than there's no other force. The pasuk says, "I was first and I will be last." There is no other force, no other koach other than me. So you should know from the east to the west, there is nothing else other than Hashem. Ani Hashem ve'ein od. I'm the Hashem. There is no other. Yotzer oru v'orei choshech. I'm the one who makes light. I'm the one who makes darkness. Osa shalom uvorei ra. I make peace and I make ra. Hashem is the one who makes ra, who makes evil. Ani Hashem osa kol ele. I'm Hashem who does all of this. Okay, this is the idea of yichud. From all of these psukim, he's saying that the point of everything, Hashem's point in everything, is to bring out this idea that He is the only force, He is the only power in the universe. V'hinei laman yedu. If you listen carefully to the psukim that each one of them is talking about, you have to know this. Laman yedu, know that I am Hashem. Laman tedu v'tavinu, know this and understand it, and v'taminu, and believe it. Mashma sherotza sheneda b'yadiyah v'havana. We see that Hashem wants us to know this, not just to believe, not just to have blind faith and say, I accept, I believe, there's only one God or nothing else. That's not what this is about. This is something He wants us to understand, to know this. And what's the point of all of this that He guarantees us, that He promises to us? His bar yichudu le'inei hakol. That ultimately Hashem's yichud will be clarified and will be revealed to everybody. This is repeated countless times throughout all of the Nevi'im. On that day Hashem will sit exalted alone. Right? On that day in the future, when the revelation comes, everything will be clear. Hashem, and it'll be clear to everybody there's only Hashem. Another pasuk, all the nations of the world are going to recognize Hashem and bow down to Hashem and accept Hashem and serve Hashem, like all of our tefillos and Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, like we spoke about a lot. Isn't this what we say every single day? Tamid, constantly, Shema Yisrael, Hashem Elokeinu, Hashem Echad. What are we saying? Hashem Elokeinu, Hashem is our God, Hashem Echad. There's only one. There is no other force. There is no other power or element in the universe other than God. So what comes out from this is the only thing, the only facet of Hashem who is completely without limits, completely without boundaries, completely infinite, the only thing that we can know and that we have to know about Hashem is this aspect, Hashem's yichud hashalim, Hashem's complete and perfect singular oneness. That when you look carefully at with a delving eye into all the activities, all the things that have happened in the history under the heavens, that there's one thing that's driving it all, there's one mahalach, there's one path, and it's only going to come together when this is exposed, when this is revealed to everybody, that there's been one path, one direction the whole way through, just the direction of Yichud. Everything has only been and will be leading to the revelation of this singularity, this oneness of Hashem. Now obviously we have to understand what this is. What does this mean, this Yichud that we're talking about, that we're going to reveal it then, it's going to be revealed then, but we have to know it now. We have to, right? And what do we want from this? What does He want from it? This is what the pasuk says. I have to bring it into my heart. I have to understand this. I have to really get this clear. I need the Yishuv Daas has to be settled and clear by me. I already told you this is a vast ocean, a vast sea. We have to, swim into it, piece by piece as we're able to. Okay, so that's the Seichel summing up a very, very fundamental idea. That no other aspect of God is knowable or graspable by a human other than this aspect, which is Hashem's oneness, Hashem's yichud, and therefore that is something that we have to know. Mamid Amar Neshama. What do I need to understand about this? Hine yichud. What does it mean yichud? It means to say Shekadosh Baruch Hu echad v'atei ve'etzul laso. There's only one and there's no other. I knew that since I was a kid. That's a basic idea. There's only one God and there is nothing else other than that. Okay, we'll finish up with the beginning of the Seichel's response to this, but the Seichel is going to launch into an explanation how to really understand what this means. Amar Seichel and Lamed Vav, Kain, Vaday Hu Shezeu Inyan B'chlal. For sure, this is the idea in general. On the whole, that's the idea. Aval Adayin Davar Zet Tzarech Lefanim, but we have to understand what this means further, and Mirz Hashem will continue with that next time.